What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dobrunsky here, and I'm back with another episode from the Human Bot Project series, but today I'm going to be switching gears up a little bit. I'm going to be comparing 1000 Pindle runs to 1000 Thresh Socket runs. So for those that don't know, these guys are both super uniques in Act 5 that can drop TC level 87 items. There is a couple restrictions on what they can and cannot drop, which I will cover later on in this video, but these drops were all recorded offline like my previous Human Bot Project episodes. But if you guys ever want to hang out with me live on stream, discuss different Diablo 2 things, or really anything in general, I stream twice a week on Twitch. Link for my Twitch channel is, of course, in the description below, twitch.com/Dobrunsky125. If you guys could give me a follow there, I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Let's jump in.
You're too late.
Before I jump into recapping the loot from these 1000 Thresh Socket / Pindle runs, I just want to cover 3 key points, kind of the frequently asked questions that I get for these Human Bot Project episodes. And the first is, what player's difficulty and how much % MF did I have? So I basically ran a standard Pit Circuit setup. I ran players 1, I did Thresh Socket and then Pindle, and I had 747% MF. The second point that I want to cover is just map rolling and curses with Thresh Socket. So I think if you want to do this type of magic finding just for fun to shake things up in single player, you want to try and roll an area plateau waypoint that's within 3 or 4 teleports from Thresh Socket. So you basically go from Haragath to the area plateau waypoint, tele to Thresh Socket, quickly kill him, and then go back to the waypoint and then finish off with Pindle. I was very fortunate to have a shrine also spawn close to Thresh Socket, which is really nice for canceling out the amplified damage curse, because that can make things a little nasty when you're doing Pindle. If you get charged with amp damage and you're berserking, it is kind of a recipe for dying if you're not very careful. So that shrine was actually really nice just for canceling out that curse. The third and final point that I want to touch on is what is the difference between Thresh Socket and Pindle, because these guys are both super uniques in Act 5 that can drop TC 87 items. Now the main difference, the drop odds, is actually identical. It's just Pindle has a monster level of 86 and Thresh Socket has a monster level of 84. So what does that mean? Well, in order for you to roll a set or unique from a specific treasure class, the monster level has to match the quality level of that item. Now I can't cover every single specific quality level. I do have a link in the description below, a D2JSP guide that covers every single specific quality level for TC 87, TC 84 uniques, TC 78, etc. But basically, all of the important items that are actually useful, like Griffins, Death's Fathom, Wind Force, Death's Web, Thresh Socket can drop them with the exact same odds as Pindle. Now, some of the kind of more rare items that are niche that don't really have a use for Holy Grail grinding, like Man Song's Lesson or Crown of Ages, Thresh Socket cannot drop them, but Pindle can. So just keep this in mind if you plan on doing this type of farming. It's viable, in my opinion, for farming for TC 87 uniques that are valuable, but for completing the Grail, it might not be the best option. So make sure you guys check out that link that I mentioned in the description below, just so you know what you can and cannot drop from Thresh Socket versus Pindle. But that covers all of the key points that I wanted to talk about, so let's recap the best loot from the 1000 Thresh Socket runs versus the 1000 Pindle runs. The first noteworthy unique for this project dropped off of Pindle on run 63. It's a unique legendary mallet which unfortunately rolled Stonecrusher. I've only ever found one Schaefer's Hammer in Diablo 2, so it was a bit of a disappointment getting Stonecrusher again. A somewhat useful rare claw drops off of Pindle about 30 runs later. It's a plain 4 to Light Sentry claw. It's not godly for the traps in by any means, but it is an interesting rare claw that I thought was worth showing. Followed by what I would consider to be a super troll rare circlet drop. It's a 1 to Amazon skills, 20 FCR, 2 open socket circlet with 34 fire res. I rarely ever see 20 FCR, 2 open socket circlets drop, so it was a huge letdown to see this one roll 1 to Amazon skills. 2 to the Necromancer or Assassin skills would have made this an amazing single player circlet. Nothing exciting drops for over 50 runs until Thresh Socket run 178. He drops a perfect small charm that rolled 2 to strength and 11% fire res. Even though plus 20 to life is more valuable than plus 2 to strength, this is still a really nice small charm for a lot of different characters. I go through another bit of a dry spell, but a cool rare ring drops off of Thresh Socket and run 343. It rolled 34 to attack rating, 6% life leech with 20 to all strength, and all 4 resistances including a huge 37% fire res. I think that this could be a really cool rare ring to use on a Wind Force Boazon build, or any other melee character that has some sort of additional mana leech. A really nice rare ethereal unique drops off of Pindle exactly 100 runs later. It's a 4 to all skills Ariox Needle. This is a cool weapon for the mercenary to use on a player's 1 summon necro build because he can get 65% deadly strike when you pair this weapon with G-Face. It's a very niche but also very cool ethereal drop. A really nice pair of Pit Circuit gloves drops just 7 runs later. These are actually very similar to the gloves that my barb was using to complete the MF runs for this video. They rolled 20% increase attack speed paired with cold res, fire res, and 24% MF. Using these gloves with Trang's set belt allows you to stack some res, MF, and reach the final IS breakpoint while using grief. A nice little small charm drops off of Thresh Socket on run number 448. It's a 31 to attack rating, 13 to life small charm. I'm trying to farm a full inventory of these small charms and grand charms to run Ubers with the kicks in the future because max damage charms do not apply to kick damage for the assassin. This is a very useful charm for me for a future kicks in Ubers challenge video. A big ticket item that I've been hunting for a long time finally drops off of Pindle just 9 runs later. It's a Set Caduceus, which is Griswold's Redemption. I've been trying to drop a 4 open socket version of this item for a Fireclaw and Bear Source build, so I was super excited to drop this. It's probably, in my opinion, the best drop of this 1000 run project. Thresh Socket has been dropping tons of useful rares for me, and this continues on run 612. He drops a 10 FCR, 61 to attack rating, 7% life leech ring with life, mana, and all resistances. I really wish this ring rolled mana leech, but there are a few niche builds that I think I can utilize this ring on in the future. Followed by a bit of a troll drop just 26 runs later. It's a unique Troll's Nest that rolled 2 to open sockets, Headhunter's Glory. I'm trying to find more 3 open socket versions of this shield for some interesting max damage elemental builds in the future, like a Javazon using this shield with 3 lightning facets, so the 2 open sockets drop kinda stings a little bit. A staple magic finding item drops off of Thresh Socket on MF run 657. It's an 868 defense Telrash's Guardianship. I think it's kinda cool that this item dropped off of Thresh Socket and not Pindle, because I generally recommend people farm Pindle when they're trying to find this item. Another Set Griswold piece drops on run 687. This time it's the Set Vortex Shield, which is Griswold's Honor. That marks 2 of the rarest Griswold pieces within almost 200 MF runs of each other. The ultimate troll drop from Pindle happens on run 750. Pindle decides to drop a unique Sacred Armor, which unfortunately, due to his monster level restrictions, can only roll Templar's Might. This is every Grailer's worst nightmare, but it does come with the territory of farming Pindle extensively. Followed by 2 more trollish RNG drops on run 813 and 865. First, a rare dimensional shard off of Thresh Socket, followed by another rare dimensional shard off of Pindle. Back-to-back chances of dropping a Death's Fathom, but unfortunately didn't have quite just enough luck. With finally the last noteworthy drop again being a unique troll drop. On run 951, Pindle drops an Ethereal Quarterstaff, which this Rib Cracker rolled nearly anti-perfect with 207% enhanced defense. This is a nice item to put a Zodrun in it if you manage to roll a very high percent enhanced damage. Well guys, there you have it. That wraps up the best drops from 1000 Thresh Socket versus 1000 Pindle runs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Overall, I think that the drops were kind of interesting. A few trollish items, like the nearly anti-perfect Ethereal Rib Cracker, and then also the Templar's Might off of Pindle. That is the reason you don't farm Pindle seriously if you're dead set on getting Tyro's Might, because there's absolutely no chance of that rolling that precious blue Sacred Armor. But I did get the 4 open socket Grizz Caddy, which is really nice. It's actually what I was hoping to get for a long time to make a Fireclaw Werebear build video, which I actually did just recently. Link for that vid is in the description below. But as always guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you could throw a like on it, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content on YouTube and also stream twice a week on Twitch, so a follow on Twitch and a sub on YouTube would be awesome. Other than that guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll catch you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.